The sky above the HAARP array in Alaska. Too many people believe in the conspiracy theory about the high-frequency active auroral research program, better known by their initials HAARP, as controlling either the weather or our minds. According to the official version in 1993, three arms of the U.S. military, the Air Force, the Navy, and DARPA, together with the University of Alaska Fairbanks, created HAARP to study the ionosphere. In 2014, HAARP is fully transferred to the control of the University of Alaska, so anyone can visit. What does HAARP do? By sending radio signals into the upper atmosphere and examining the reflections, HAARP is investigating the possibility of using reflected waves for communications and surveillance. Somehow, perhaps because of the military's involvement, this facility became the center of some of the biggest conspiracy theories about mind control and manipulation, as well as the weather being responsible for earthquakes in certain places and more. Whether or not all of this is true is something we won't judge here. So what we have to show is something called sky glow, revealing the sky above the facility. The university administration hopes that at some point it will restore the facility's controversial reputation and people will understand that nothing hidden is going on there. As part of the Project Skyglow, famous for producing videos of stars, clouds, and meteors above famous landmarks, made what you'll see entitled SkyglowProject.com HAARP Borealis, which includes amazingly spectacular images. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Now, what does Space.com have to say about a recent HAARP activity? Huge HAARP antenna array is bouncing radio signals off Jupiter. By Brett Tingley on Space.com, HAARP's current research program has been called unprecedented. The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program Facility, or HAARP, is in the midst of a wide-ranging science campaign that will see the facility bouncing signals off the moon and also Jupiter. HAARP consists of 180 antennas designed to transmit signals into the ionosphere, which stretch from 30 miles to 600 miles above sea level and is seen as the area where Earth's atmosphere meets space, according to NASA. The ionosphere plays an important role in radio transmission as it reflects radio waves. Many satellites occupy this region of the atmosphere, which is heavily influenced by solar weather. HAARP is in the midst of a 10-day research campaign that is the facility's largest and most diverse to date. HAARP program manager Jessica Matthews said in a statement, among the 13 experiments being conducted during the campaign are projects that will see signals bouncing off the moon and Jupiter in order to test HAARP's ability to study objects far from Earth. One of the most ambitious experiments being carried out during HAARP's current campaign is known as the Jupiter Bounce, or interplanetary ionosonde, according to a statement from University of Alaska Fairbanks, UAF. The experiment will test HAARP's ability to bounce signals off the ionosphere of Jupiter, while also determining how well receivers at the University of New Mexico long wavelength array can receive the reflected signals. The experiment is the largest active remote sensing operation in history, according to University of Alaska Fairbanks statement. This is a first-of-its-kind experiment, which at least to my knowledge has never been attempted before. HAARP Research Support Services lead Evans Callis told Alaska Public Media, we transmit several different frequencies from HAARP directed at Jupiter. We listen for the echo that returns, and that should be able to tell us something about electromagnetic conditions around Jupiter, they said. Another experiment known as moon bounce will see signals bounce off the moon back towards receivers in New Mexico and California. These signals will be evaluated for their use in determining the composition of near-Earth asteroids for future planetary defense purposes. Meanwhile, HAARP's Making the Invisible Visible experiment will test if hot electrons are capable of producing the continuum white emissions present in Steve airglow. Steve, short for Strong Thermal Emission Velocity Enhancement, is an aurora-like phenomena that occurs when charged particles from the sun interact with the Earth's ionosphere. And this is what you see here. This is over Lake Michigan. So if we see that air glow and it matches the wavelength of light that we see from naturally occurring Steve, that would give us indication that the hot electrons are playing some role in the formation of Steve, Callis said. One of the more unique experiments, Ghosts in the Air Glow, will mix art and atmospheric research to play with the liminal boundaries of Earth's atmosphere and outer space, according to the project's website. The experiment will use HAARP to bounce images, spoken word and sound art off the ionosphere to learn more about the radio propagation. The HAARP facility, constructed in 1993, originally operated by several U.S. military research agencies, including DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Energy, Air Force Research Laboratory, and Office of Naval Research. And in 2015, as we said, ownership of the facility was transferred to the University of Alaska. While primarily used for upper atmospheric research, the facility has been the subject of numerous conspiracy theories, as we said, in the nearly 3 decades since it was constructed. Some have accused the U.S. government of using the facility to modify weather, trigger earthquakes, create chemtrails, or even to broadcast mind control signals. To date, there has been no evidence of the facility being used for mind control or anything other than atmospheric research. And according to the frequently asked question page on HAARP's website, neuroscience is a complex field of study carried out by medical professionals, not scientists and researchers at HAARP. Of course, this is not the only HAARP facility in the world. This is on space.com. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.